The 1960s were a golden era for British motoring. Britain produced beautiful luxury cars, powerful grand tours, and sports cars that could turn heads anywhere. But behind the famous Jaguar E-Type and Aston Martin DB5 were cars almost nobody ever saw. Some were built fewer than 100 times, some fewer than 20, and one was built only once. Today, we're counting down 10 of the rarest British cars of the 1960s, and number 1 is so rare it never even reached production. Let's begin. Number 10. Bristol 409. Introduced in 1965, the Bristol 409 was a luxury grand tour built in very small numbers. It combined traditional British craftsmanship with a powerful Chrysler V8 environment. Inside, it offered a quiet, luxurious cabin designed for effortless long-distance driving. But Bristol never built cars for the mass market. Fewer than 100 Bristol 409s were produced. That made the car extremely exclusive, even when it was new. Today, the 409 remains a fascinating example of Britain's low-volume luxury car tradition. Number 9. AC428 Frua. The AC428 Frua was a remarkable combination of three automotive worlds: British engineering, Italian styling, and American V8 power. Its elegant body was designed by Pietro Frua, while a Ford V8 provided the performance. It looked like an exotic Italian grand tour, but underneath, it was very much a British machine. AC Cars was a tiny manufacturer, so production remained extremely limited. Only around 80 examples were built. For collectors today, that rarity is a huge part of the car's appeal. Number 8. Aston Martin DB4 GT. Before the famous DB5, Aston Martin created an even more exclusive machine. The DB4 GT was lighter, shorter, and more powerful than the standard DB4. It was designed for drivers who wanted both luxury and serious performance. The car also became an important competition machine. But production was tiny. Only around 75 DB4 GTs were built. That makes it considerably rarer than the DB5. Today, surviving examples are among the most desirable British cars from the 1960s. Number 7. Lotus Elan 26R. The Lotus Elan 26R took Britain's lightweight sports car philosophy to another level. It was developed specifically for competition, with reduced weight, improved suspension, and racing-focused engineering. The idea was simple: don't make the car heavier, make it lighter. Only a small number of genuine 26Rs were produced, and that makes original examples extremely valuable to enthusiasts today. The 26R proved that a small British sports car didn't need a huge engine to be exciting. Number 6. Gordon-Keeble GT. The Gordon-Keeble GT was one of the most ambitious British grand tourers of the decade. Its body was styled by Giorgetto Giugiaro, while a Chevrolet V8 provided the power. Inside, there was enough room for 4 people and plenty of luxury. On paper, it looked like a serious rival to established grand tours, but the company behind it was tiny. Building such an expensive car in small numbers was incredibly difficult. Only around 99 examples were produced before the company collapsed. The Gordon-Keeble wasn't a bad car. It was simply too ambitious for the company that built it. Number 5. Marcos 1800 GT. The Marcos 1800 GT looked unlike almost anything else on Britain's roads. It was extremely low, lightweight, and designed with performance in mind. The long nose and slim body gave it a dramatic appearance. Marcos was a small manufacturer, so production numbers were tiny. Only a few dozen early 1800 GTs were built. That makes the original car exceptionally rare today. Its unusual styling may have divided opinion when new, but decades later, that individuality has become one of its greatest strengths. Number 4. Aston Martin DB4 GT Zagato. Now we reach one of the most famous rare British cars ever built. The DB4 GT Zagato combined Aston Martin engineering with lightweight Italian coachwork. The aluminium body was designed by Zagato to make the car lighter and more aerodynamic. Only 19 original examples were built. 19. That makes the DB4 GT Zagato one of the rarest Aston Martins of all time. It was beautiful, fast, and closely connected with motorsport. Today, original examples are among the most valuable British cars in existence. Number 3. Aston Martin DB4 GT Bertone Jet was a one-off show car. A DB4 GT chassis was sent to Italy, where Bertone created a completely different body. The design came from Giorgetto Giugiaro. It looked more like an Italian exotic than a traditional Aston Martin, but underneath was Aston Martin engineering. Only one original Bertone jet was built. One car. It was never intended to become a mass production model. Instead, it became a fascinating glimpse at what Aston Martin could create when it was willing to experiment. Number 2. Jaguar E2A. At number 2 is a Jaguar that very few people remember. The E2A was an experimental sports racing car developed in 1960. It connected Jaguar's famous racing heritage with the design direction that would soon lead to the E-Type. Underneath was a Jaguar straight-six engine, while the lightweight body was designed for serious performance. Only 3 E2As were built. 3. The E2A never became a production car. Instead, it became an important rolling experiment in Jaguar's development history. Today, those 3 cars represent one of the rarest chapters in Jaguar's story. Number 1. Jaguar XJ13. And at number 1 is perhaps the most extraordinary British car of the entire decade, the Jaguar XJ13. Only one was ever built. The XJ13 was created as a prototype for a mid-engined Jaguar racing car. It featured a beautiful aluminium body and a powerful V12 engine mounted behind the driver. For its time, the design looked incredibly advanced. But Jaguar's racing plans changed, and the XJ13 never reached production. It never competed at Le Mans. It never became a showroom car. It remained a single, extraordinary experiment. The car was later badly damaged in an accident, but fortunately it survived and was eventually restored. Today, the XJ13 is remembered as one of Britain's most fascinating automotive prototypes, and that's why it takes the number 1 spot. One car, one design, one piece of British motoring history that can never be repeated. The 1960s produced thousands of British cars, but these 10 were different. They were rare, ambitious, and often built for very specific purposes. From the Bristol 409 to the Aston Martin Zagato, and finally the incredible one-off Jaguar XJ13, they represent a side of British motoring that is easy to forget. These weren't the cars everyone owned. They were the cars almost nobody had the chance to see, and perhaps that's what makes them so fascinating. Which one would you choose to own? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this journey through Britain's rarest classic cars, hit like and subscribe for more forgotten British automotive history. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.